bet, Jem, you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, well, we were continuing the conversation. Paul, we were talking about the whole situation, and Cuzzo gave our guest here just his whole synopsis of everything. But we got to where how Trump reacted, and Cuzzo mentioned something very important. He was talking about, well, how many people Trump probably got in his pockets, but he's rich though. He's rich. He's a billionaire. What Think about the amount of power, maybe money and power that you would need to really get Trump to maybe side with you or budge with you, stick to it on a platform like CNN, on the whole U.S. damn near world media, for him to stick to that point of view. It's like, there were many sides, many sides. He's not going to name anything specific. I want your input on that, as far as like, how much power do you think people have that influence Donald Trump? Does he have those type of people, or is he kind of, this is just who he is?
Well, I think this is just who he is. As far as money and power, yeah, you probably have to have a little money and a little power to persuade him. But to me, he's an opportunist. So if he sees that he can get something out of it, whether it's long term when he's out of the presidency, or even just to piss a bunch of people off, that's what he does. To me, that's what I see. He has one agenda and one agenda only.
Yeah. Cuzzo, what about you? Hold on one second, man. Cuzzo, what about you though?
Yeah.
Do you think he got that power in his
Trump?
Power in his pocket? Yeah, or is he just kind of, this is who he is?
I told you, the man he's bought. He's bought. He's part of that ring. Like how a bunch of leaders would just crowd around a little world table and discuss how to take over the world. Like, he's a part of that.
So you think
the concerns of the people, the concerns of the people ain't really his concerns. As long as it doesn't affect his presidency and it doesn't affect him from moving forward, he can care less about it. And some white supremacists killing a bunch of people because of what they believe is not as important as dealing with North Korea and war and bombs and shit. Let's just call it what it really is.
Well,
small potatoes.
Well, why do you guys think it took him 2 days? After 2 days, I mean, he did it. Versus maybe him not doing it at all.
I think for him to do. I'm sorry.
Right. I was going to say the same. I believe because he's a part of that whole neo-Nazi.
That global elites, like.
Hood. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think the whole thing with the whole Russia situation. Those are neo-Nazis. These are the same type of people that support him. So he kind of don't want to piss them off. He doesn't. Trump doesn't hesitate to get on Twitter and say something negative when it's a Muslim situation or if it's a black situation.
Only when it fits his narrative.
Right, when it becomes to these neo-Nazis or these hoodwin people, he seems to lay back and say, well, yeah, I said something, and the way I said it is to imply that I'm not with it. But to the people who know me and know that I'm with it, it doesn't bother them, because that's what I think it was David Duke or whoever went on and said that, he said nothing about us. It was all good.
Yeah. He said that. Yeah. That was kind of crazy. I thought that was kind of crazy. That blew my mind right there, actually. I'm like, hold on. Now there's the follow-up from the ignorant side, and it shows it, like, giving a thumbs. This shit is too crazy. Are these people really that strung up on really hating people that are not?
Yes.
Wow.
I think it's like I said, it's a power struggle. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody is trying to be that part of that You know what I'm saying? That power struggle to where their people aren't affected as much. So what these white supremacists are doing, they're trying to maintain that power so that they don't become, like when the bully get beat up, everybody start beating up the bully. But in order for the bully to not get,
Exactly.
what I'm saying, in order the bully to keep his reputation, he gotta keep doing what he doing. He gotta be consistent with his bullying, and that's why, like I said, it's fear. They fear that they know that their time is coming, so they have to keep the foot on your neck. Like if I let go of this nigga, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
position white people are in right now. They can't let go of that little headlock. You know what I'm saying? They got us in the headline. They know if they let us go, it's a wrap. The fight's over. So they gotta keep us in that headlock. Gotta keep us down. Gotta keep us subdued. You know what I'm saying? And when we break out of that headlock, it's a wrap. And that's what they fear.
Mm.
That's why they need white supremacy to keep them in that position where they can keep us in the headlock.
Let me ask you this: Do any of you think that this situation tied with something else? I mean, hold on, before I forget, the helicopter crash. Somebody told me. There
Mhm.
you go. I heard. I
Mhm.
heard that the two pilots, the two folks and the two police officers in the helicopter were white nationalists. Have you guys heard the same thing or no?
I mean, I don't have
I
to hear
haven't.
it to believe it, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, like I said, nothing surprises me these days with these white supremacists. They're everywhere. They're connected. Like people gotta understand how white supremacy works. It's a system. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how Hitler ran his Germans. They all had a system. And anybody that went against that system died, got killed, whatever. That's how
What
the government runs this country.
hold on. What you think, Nando? Like you think what you got to say about that?
Well, I didn't hear that.
Mm.
However, it is known that there are a lot of white supremacists and nationalists within the police department.
Mm.
So it isn't far
In
fetched.
Charlottesville though? Come on, cuz. Over there.
Uh,
What you chiefing
it's not is is not
Charlottesville,
far
of course.
fetched to believe that
on?
these officers might have been. I don't want to speculate because I don't know. I'm not going to throw that label on them
Mm.
because we like to throw a lot of names and labels on it. If they are, they are. If they're not, it is what it is. Unfortunately, they lost their lives doing their job.
Mm.
Hopefully they were not being white nationalists while they were in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to trying to pinpoint, certain things for certain ground troops or what have you to create
I
more
think
chaos, but we don't know.
Mm.
I think that it's like I said, that they don't hide. They're not hiding anymore.
Mm.
And racist white people, they're not
Well, if
hiding.
it's, I think it's a mixture of both.
And not just
They're hiding. It's blatant, but I still go back to say that we still have to have this causes us to have that conversation
but
about
see,
subtle racism because subtle racism, in my opinion, is
it's the most
definitely more
dangerous
powerful,
racism.
and it's the most powerful one right now. So to me, this show that I just saw on CNN, this whole story, doesn't negate the fact that the most powerful racism is subtle. It's when I go to my 9 to 5. It's when I go to the corner store
It's
sometimes. It's right there.
hmm
So we need to have
it's
that conversation.
yeah,
Well,
and like I was like, mhm.
I want to add this into the conversation. I do believe that there is multiple agendas when it comes to the white nationalists. One thing is dividing us as black people, also keeping us from joining forces with other people like the Mexicans or even the Muslims. Um, because if you notice, there's this division now where they're trying to
But do you
make
think
people
that's
divide
the white
amongst other
nationalists?
races.
Do you think that's the
Yes,
white nationalists helping
yes,
that,
because
doing that, or do you think that's us
I would,
ourselves?
I would, I would, I would no. I would say yes because if the president or the people in power are a part of that structure, And this is what's being thrown at us on TV every time you turn on the TV. Send the Mexicans home. It's the same thing that they tell us as black people. Nigger, go home. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the Mexicans need to go home. And they want you to unite with them to say, yeah, the Mexicans need to go home. Well, first of all, this land was full of Mexicans before any of these white nationalists or anyone came. Or
why? But see, why is
no? But I would.
Well, hold on 1 second. I want to ask this: why isn't that thought about though, Nando Jam? Like, why isn't that thought? Like, how come we don't backtrack and just use common sense? Like, hey, this land where it's like that's totally
common
ignored.
sense. Common sense requires people. Let me say, common sense requires people to go against their ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Common sense will debunk your ignorance. That's why people don't use it. But of course, all these white motherfuckers know that they weren't the first people here. They know that. But if they play along with the script of, well, we're the most powerful people, we're this, we're that, and they drowned us out for years and years without giving us a friendly reminder of who they really are, it will get lost in the sauce. But it's up to people like us to keep that information valid. Keep it going. Because the truth is something that you don't, you know what I'm saying, that you can't erase. What happened. You can't erase it.
Man, what you got to say in regards to that?
As long as they keep us separated and keep people on their side to push out these other races of people or nationalities, they want the Muslims gone, they want the Mexicans gone, all they want is your black ass here so they can continue to control you and control your mind. But when they get a chance, they want to tell you, nigger, go home. Well, this is my home. And if you're going to tell me to go home, then I suggest you take your ass home too. You know, my problem is when the news spits that out to you, but they don't say to these white nationalists, hello, this is not your home. So if you want Muslims, Mexicans, and blacks to go home,
and that's what I mean.
Look, that's racism right there. Because look, if any white person, you can get even a celebrity to speak on it, they will never mention, well, this land doesn't belong to us. And that's to show you the most moderate white person. The one that you see on TV, the news, you know, they all know the truth, but will they ever go against it? No. So they're playing along, they're along with the race. They can use, they always tell us we use a race card, but honestly, nobody uses a race card more than white people because they use it silently.
Let me ask you this. I asked earlier if this is tied to anything. Do you guys think this is tied or has anything to do with any connections? You know, we're also, at the edge of entering a war right now. I say we because, for some reason, the United States always means us black people, even though we don't agree with shit the president be doing. But we are also at the edge of entering into a war. Is any of this related? Is it a distraction to you guys? Does it connect anyway to you feel a bigger agenda?
Always a bigger agenda. I mean, somebody has to do something in order to distract the people from what's really going on. So all these people, and you know what, to me, sometimes it wouldn't surprise me if some of these people were working together, because they can put any nut job out there to go kill a bunch of people and lock them up under the jail. And that's just the deal. They don't have to, you'll never hear, look at all those people that did do shit. Where they at now? People are gone. They probably erased. Who knows? They put them out there because they do a good job at keeping the people distracted. They don't care how many people that get killed. Like, everybody knew 9/11 was a government job. Everybody knows that, but they will never admit it. You can't get people to admit to things when they know that admitting it will take away that power that they have right now. That's why white supremacy.
So you don't feel
running
rapid. So in a sense, you're like, this might have something to do with. This might just be a distraction in regards to the North Korea.
Yeah, because you got to remember, the president over there making threats. The president over there making threats to North Korea, and all this bullshit about how we're gonna fight fire with fire, and all that war talk, and it could all be for publicity. It could all be for politics.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I think that man has his plate full. I mean, this he's really in the shits with the edge of a war, and yet you're having a almost like the edge of a civil war. It seems in your own country.
I'll tell you this
You
though:
know,
if a
I
war
think it's
really breaks out, though,
mm.
it'll be the perfect time to have a civil war. Because guess
Well,
what?
let me tell
If
you.
you,
Hold on, Nando, talk about the Civil War theory, please.
the Civil War theory, let me say
Well,
the Civil
I
War.
want him to talk
I
about
kind of
it.
want to go back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
I personally think this whole Korea thing is the smoke screen.
It is smoke screen.
Because this situation with North Korea is nothing new. Nothing new. It's been going on for centuries. Presidents after president after president. Now, one of the things that people don't think about is what they're saying, okay, well, if they get a nuclear weapon, they're going to drop that nuclear weapon on us. I don't believe that.
They're not going to do that.
I don't believe that. Of course not. And the reason I don't believe that, because to create a nuclear war, that means everyone is getting wiped off this fucking planet.
Yeah, that's first. And you know what? It's not good for business.
That too. But to have a nuclear war is just like we were speaking earlier. It's standing up to the bully. It's saying, you got a nuke, I got a nuke. So what you going to do? If I have a nuke and you got a nuke and you're afraid that you feel that I might push that button, or I'm afraid that you might push that button, that button is never going to get pushed. It's a standstill. Okay? It's a standstill. But if I keep you from having that, I can control you. I can invade you. I can make you scared. What this man is saying is, I'm not afraid of you. For centuries, people have been telling that country not to make nukes, to the point where if they got one, they got one now.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're so afraid of them having one, it's a little too late for that. You should have thought about that, went to war, did whatever you had to do to keep them from even getting to the point of having the knowledge. Unfortunately, they got the knowledge.
And see, now that they've given them that time, that's why I always say they all work together. All these elites,
exactly.
They're playing us like a fucking game. We are the real pieces on a fucking board. If you don't want to believe it, you really sleep and you're stuck in the matrix. But we are the pieces on the board. They're not going to wage no war because there's no money in it right now. You know what I'm saying? There's no money in it. No country wants to go to war with a real war unless there's money behind it. All those previous wars we've had was all behind money. You know what I'm saying?
And the bullshit wars, because you can't have a war with a country that can't defend themselves. If you're going to have a war, you're going to have a war with someone who has boats, planes, and everything that you got.
And on top of that,
people that don't have that shit.
Hold on a second. Does Nando, are you saying North Korea has that, or what do you mean in regards to that?
I say they have both. They have stuff, but the wars that we've been fighting, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, and all these people don't have those things. Their allies may have it, like Russia, China, and so forth, but the country themselves don't have it. So they look for protection from other larger nations, such as Korea has the ties with China, has the ties with Russia. Has the ties with Iran.
So the relevance of that, because we gotta put black folks up on politics, because we don't do us. I don't watch much TV, but I always make sure I tune into CNN. So what you're saying too is that the North Korea situation is relevant because China is their ally, and China got planes and got all of that.
Got ships.
They got all of that.
Korea's got subs. They've got ships. They've got planes. They just don't have the amount of planes, ships, or subs that we have. You got to remember, the United States put all their money years ago into war machines. We have the biggest fleet of everything. Okay? We have the largest fleet, but yet
we have to overcompensate for the shit, what we lack.
Of course. But that's part of the bully pulpit, to say, look, I got 5 ships more than you. So you might blow up one of my ships, but I still got 4 ships out there. You only got 2. All I got to do is take out your 2 ships. Okay? I told somebody years ago, it's funny to me that after the Vietnam War or you could say the Asian War, you had a situation where they said in China they have an overpopulation, so they can no longer populate. So now you can only have one child. If you have more than one child, they're going to take the child away or whatever, give you an abortion, what have you. You got to ask yourself, why is that? And when I think about it, the way I look at it is the war, when we fought the Asians, you're looking at a fight of maybe 3-1, 4-1. There were so many of them, and they came out the woodworks. To this day, they talk about how many of these Asians was coming out of freaking holes, out of caves, whatever.
Yeah,
if you can keep their population, but think about it, if you can keep their population small, okay, if you ever go back to war, you would never have the amount of people that you have to fight, that you had to, that they had to fight.
Who would benefit from that?
Who would benefit? The people with the more machines, the newer sophisticated weapons. You know, all these things matters, but nobody thinks about those things. Look how large China is. Look at the landmass. Look at the landmass of the U.S. You know, they talk about overpopulation. There's places in this country, in the U.S. as well as other countries that have nobody.
Nobody.
It's not even populated. So you can't tell me there's an overpopulation of people when you got landmass that there's not even a house built on it. Okay? You got thousands of acres, and all of a sudden, for some strange reason, there's an overpopulation. Yeah, there might be an overpopulation within that city, just like New York City, I would say is somewhat overpopulated, and that's why we build skyscrapers and everything else to put people up. But if we went out to freaking Montana somewhere where there's nothing but fucking land...
Well, let me tell you why. I'm going to tell you why right now. The reason why they're talking this overpopulation shit is because white people scientifically are being erased from existence. The more black and brown people that populate America erase white people within the next 100 years to the T. I mean, you won't find 100% white person in the next 100 years. So they know this.
Let me I want to go into that room with you. But I want to go here for a second. Like, do you feel like there's this fear in this country still of African Americans from all races? And that's a simple question, but I want to go somewhere with this. Do you feel that there's this fear? Do you feel that the white folks, Indians, Asians, there's a fear for the average black person today? Fear of?
I would say not from some of those races that you highlighted. I would think that the fear is more so from the white man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say.
Well, hold on. You said you agree with it, right?
Yeah, I agree with what he said.
Where do you think? Well, what attributes to that fear? What do you guys think that fear? Why are they afraid? Why?
They're afraid, like I told you earlier, because they know the backlash from what their ancestors did. Still, the stain still sticks with black people today. And when you have a 12-year-old black person talking about what happened 60, 70 years ago, they know that, okay, black people are now more aware even from a younger age. So they feel like the rage is building up because someday some generation is going to snap. And this is the generation that's snapping slowly. You know what I'm saying? They know this. They see this every day. When you see videos all the time of you know how many videos I've seen of black people beating white people up and saying nigga because they know that where it came from? An average kid that doesn't know their history, a white person call them nigga, they're not going to react to it because they're going to feel like, okay, he a nigga, I'm a nigga. No, but a real black person that knows that, okay, this word comes from somewhere because I learned it, won't let a white person say that shit. So they know this. And once, like I said, once you know it, you show it. And that's what's happening.
Nando,
real shit.
I seem to think that their problem is, like you said earlier, their population is dwindling.
It
It's
is.
smaller and smaller, and
There are 2 deaths to 1 birth ratio now.
Yeah, but beyond that, when you look at, like I was saying earlier, the trying to tell black folks to go back to Africa, you're trying to tell Mexicans to go back to Mexico, you want to build a wall, you're telling Muslims to go stay where you are, don't come here. All these people that they're attacking are people that are outsiders to them. But for black people, these are all people that we embrace. Okay? So if we embrace all these people, when you embrace these people, and this other group of people do not want to embrace them, okay? If we was to group together, it will annihilate the white race, number one. Okay, number two, when you look at some white folks understand that what happened in centuries ago was wrong, and they're siding with other nations, black people or what have you. So they're losing their foothold not only with strangling us as black people, but they're losing their foothold in their own white people who are turning on them and saying, you know what, enough is enough. So it's a small pod of these hateful ass white people who don't want to see other nations or people come together. That's why they want to build a wall. That's why they want all these people to quote unquote go home, but they don't want to take their asses home. You know what I'm saying? If I can keep you out and build a wall and keep this country for myself and all white people, then I'm happy. I'm okay, because I can't go back to Europe because Europe is full of what? Black people. But Europe has the same issues. They got neo-Nazis. They got skinheads. They don't have freaking Ku Klux Klan. But I mean, to me, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
They're all the same. It just call themselves by different things, but they're all a part of that same bullshit. Okay, so you can't go to Europe. Right, you can't go to Europe and get away from it. You can't go to America and get away from it. But if I can get them all out of here and build a wall and keep my people in, then I can truck them in from Europe or wherever the hell they are and say, you know what, fuck it, we'll give up Europe to take America. You know, I mean, we could look at it so many different ways. So many different ways you can look at it. And everybody has their own perspective on what's going on and whatnot. I honestly can't
in my opinion,
what it is. But I mean, those are some of the things that I think about. That I look at.
I think in my opinion it was like this last stance of racism being taken, and I think that a lot of white people still are thumbing their nose at it, like, they don't necessarily appreciate it, but this is news. This is news to them, and this is it's even on TV right now, it's constant, it's on there, it's a big deal for them. But like I said, we all know that the main racism that goes on in this country is very subtle. It's on the low. I don't think racism will ever go away. But I think every now and then things like this will happen to give us some type of shock value, and it's to be gauged. And the question that we need to figure out for ourselves is who's gauging it. Because when we look at who's trying to gauge it, we'll look at the people who's really behind the bullshit. Because you're right. I've met. It's not enough. Like, I'm tired of. I'm gonna say my honest opinion. I think Jem, you and I have talked about this. Like, I'm tired of attributing my energy to me not being a success to another person. It gets tiring because I know they'll never change. They are just who they are. White people are who they are, and I am going to continue being who I am, and I need to be a success. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. We as African Americans, black people, whatever you want to call it, have to have focus and tunnel vision. We have to do one thing at a time. You know, instead of worrying
Yeah.
about all the bunch of shit that we need to do and knowing that they don't give a fuck, let's just work on one. Let's start right now too with maybe the black family for right now. Let's just work on that. Then when we get to 2020, you know, that whole decade of 2020 to 2030, let's work on a black finance, or maybe the other way around, the way shit is going right now. Let's work on that the other way around, mind you. You know,
I think
but we
I think that you're right. We definitely need to come together as black people and stop worrying about all these, hateful people that want to point
distractions.
fingers,
Yeah,
because that's not going to go anywhere. And as long as we're fighting amongst each other, they've won. You see, we have to stop fighting amongst each other and come together before anything is going to happen for us as a nation of black people. And that includes Africa.
yeah,
It's sad to see a black country taken over again by imperialist white people. They suck the freaking oil out of our ground. They take our diamonds, our gold, and claim it to be theirs.
yeah.
When our people in Africa don't even have a plate of food.
Plate of
You
food.
see them on TV. They're playing them. They're playing them. They come. They put them on TV, and they ask you to send money because this child doesn't have a plate of food. But yet you're taking the diamonds right from underneath their feet, and you won't even feed them.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say, why should I send money over there? My thing is, if I send money over there, I want it to go to them. I don't want 10% to go to them and 90% to go in your pocket as a corporate entity. You're already making money over there. All these companies that are over there sucking the resources dry should be giving money to that country to feed those people, putting in water systems, helping them plant food, helping them get livestock. Okay? So it's not just here in America. It's Africa. It's Europe. We have to come together. We have to realize that they are sucking us dry. And no matter what we say or do, until we come together and bring ourselves together and unite, it's not going to get better for us. Yes, some of us financially own houses or have good jobs or have money in the pockets or whatever. That means nothing when your brother and your sister is starving.
Yeah.
And half of us, or more than half of us, are living paycheck to paycheck. If you lose your job tomorrow, your house is gone. So what does that house mean? The house that you own means nothing because you only own the house. You don't own the land. So yes, you could pick up that house and go wherever the fuck you want with it and put it on another piece of land, but you'll never own that land. It's owned by these imperialists. That's why you're constantly paying property tax and everything else. You can't even build on your house without going down to the county to tell these people what you're building, to have them give you a permit to build on your own house. So it goes way deeper than just, being called a nigger or whatever. Fine, you want to call me a nigger? It doesn't hurt me because I know I'm not a nigger. I'm a black man.
Yeah. Very
intelligent black man. And if you feel that that's going to anger me, and it does anger a lot of people to the point of wanting to fight and get yourself locked up or get yourself bloody, for what? It's not doing nothing for my pockets. It's not doing nothing for my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to do better for ourselves.
It's stages. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. See, we don't do, like I said, one thing at a time. And there's levels to it. We got the money. We could get the money right now, too. Matter of fact, I keep telling everybody, I don't want to hear no excuse. Man, look, we've all had broke days. I've had broke days, but I promise you, as a black man that's been through it, in 2017, there are more ways to get money than ever before. A lot of things are distracting to black folks. There are more ways than ever in 2017 to get money before, and a lot of it ain't even that hard. But we're so distracted sometimes. Yeah, but yeah, true indeed. But we're so distracted, like I said, by a lot of the focuses that we really don't have time to focus on right now. Me being called a nigga by a white person in this home behind the walls where I can't hear him, that ain't my goddamn focus right now. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Me getting this money for my platform and my family and my people and making sure my people's next to me, I'm rubbing shoulders with. They eating and we networking and doing what we. That's priority. That's what we need to focus on right now. Black
Right.
families maintaining a relationship, trying not to cuss your shorty out. You know what I mean? Trying to just maintain some peace. That's what you need to be focusing now.
Yeah,
Don't
because
lose focus.
you exert too much energy
Mm.
worrying about that bullshit
Yep.
and worrying about these people and what they want. They want you to focus on. I ain't focusing on that. I'm moving forward. You know, move forward. But
And
definitely,
yeah, yeah.
we definitely need to come up with some ideas and some things for our community. You know, we definitely need to, pick up the pace on what's going on in our neighborhoods, our
Yeah.
own neighborhoods, and that's where it starts. And I employ people to vote. I know a lot of people say, well, my vote don't mean nothing. Well, it don't mean nothing when you don't vote.
Mm.
And you can't complain if you ain't voting. Whether you think your vote counts or not, it's
Mm.
just a few minutes out of your day to go and vote. And if you don't like Donald Trump being president and you didn't vote, you're
Mm.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm I'm sorry. To me, you cannot complain if you're not out there voting. What are you complaining for?
Yeah. And us
You
knowing
let
this
you
man's personality, I mean, we're not even, you're not even surprised. So, me, I already
no,
know
I'm a
how
New
I was.
Yorker.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker. I know who Donald Trump is. I've been knowing who Donald Trump is. We in New York, everyone knows who Donald Trump is. So it's no surprise to us. It's the people out in the Midwest and the heartland and all these places that don't know Donald Trump, that thinks that he's this great businessman that's going to do great things for them. He's only doing great things for people that are like him, rich. And if you're not rich, he ain't working for you. I agree with people. Most of these politicians don't work for us.
Mm.
But bigger than the presidency is your local government, your senators, your congressmen.
Direct.
These are
Yeah.
the people that you need to, right. You need to hold their feet to the fire. Stop reelecting them when they don't do shit for you, when
Mm.
they're not speaking for you. Go to your congressman or your senator and knock on his door, his office. Know where it's at. That's what we're supposed to be doing. You know,
I do gotta applaud
um,
the governor of Virginia. You know what I mean? Like, he came in and he
I,
said it for what it was. And see,
I
we're
agree.
not. We gotta look. This is how it is, black folks. We live just like the white man does, just like the Asian man. We live amongst these people. We interact with them every day. We better figure out the plan so we could have the power. Because right now, these people are in situations where they have power over you. So you got to get your power. Like Nana was saying, we do have to vote at least locally, even if we don't. And actually, this year I plan to do. I've been actually following tax commissioner. I got to get her name from Facebook. I put it on another show, but so we have. I've been active in it locally, voting at least locally. These are the things that directly affect you every day. We need power. I see too many guys running around with money ain't doing shit because they don't utilize it to get power. So we need power in the black community, and we really don't need nobody to rock us off our horses from that. We just need power. That's it. Keep your focus, folks. This is homework. Keep your focus. Focus on your finances, your wealth, building that. Focus on the power. Don't focus on little news distractions and things like that. It's always going to be surprising. It's always meant to give you a shock value, but at the end of the day, when you turn it off, you're still alone, and powers that be don't really care about you at all. So, focus on yourself, your family, networking with people that you have good dealings with, and moving forward like that. And then the things that you want to fix, the things that you know when we watch stupid shit like this, we could fix. You know, because you know what? While I was watching that, and Jim, I thought of a nonprofit organization I wanted to start. That's how how much they never took me off my phone. I'm watching this nonsense. I'm like, I seen something right there. I'd start a good nonprofit for that. We can't let these things meant to give you shock value have power over you. I wanna put one more thing in here, and I wanna see what you guys think about that. And I wanna close this down. And I appreciate the guests on Steemit, on YouTube, on Facebook, our main website, rwiconcept.ga. And I want to ask you guys this though. Uh, let me phrase it right. Do you guys think that this situation was staged in any way? I have that. A lot of people have been whispering in my ear that it may have been staged, and then we gonna do that, conspiracy theory real quick for the fans that love it, because we're unplugged, and then I'm gonna leave y'all because I've been wondering about that. Do you think that situation was real, or what do you think?
Well, again, I don't know if it was staged. It accomplished what they wanted it to accomplish, which is having the two sides clash.
Mm.
I do think that when you come to a rally dressed in fatigues and military uniforms with baseball bats and freaking shields, you're making a statement. And the statement is, we're ready for war, we're ready to fight. And that's exactly what occurred.
Mm.
So it could have been staged. Again, that would be something that the government would have probably said, hey, white supremacists, why don't y'all go have this meeting? Well, I'm going to say, you know what? I would say no. And the only reason I say it wasn't staged is because the whole thing behind the rally, which people are forgetting, is the removal of a statue of the Confederacy, which personally they have a right to be angry about. They have a right to protest, but the way they came out, it just had to happen this way because of the way they came out. So I would say no, it wasn't staged, but I would definitely say that they knew something was going to pop off.
Jim?
Because the whole thing with the removal of the flag, now we're removing statues, and I had a discussion with my wife. If it's on state property and the state is supposed to stay out of this white-black race issue, then the statue needs to go. And there's enough rich white people who are hateful as fuck. They could take the statue, buy a piece of land, and put that damn statue there, create a memorial or whatever. Why does it have to be on state property? I pay my tax dollars. I don't want my tax dollars going to the Confederacy. So you got the sons of the Confederates, the daughters of the Confederates. You got all these groups that could have put their money together, took the statue, and put it anywhere. And I'm sure they probably could have got the statue for free. Okay? Yeah. So there are many ways that this could have been avoided. Okay? It's a clash that they wanted because they want to make themselves be seen. And like one of these guys said, and I don't know how true it is, ever since Trump has been in office, they have been recruiting more and more people into the KKK and these neo-Nazi organizations. Okay? Trump makes them feel comfortable. Trump allows them to come out of their shell. Take the hood off, however, whatever you want to say. So again, this could have been avoided. Take the damn statue and put it where you want. Can't nobody tell you not to fly your flag on your house. Fly your damn flag on the house. It doesn't need to be on the steps of the freaking state capitol. It doesn't need to be at the courthouse that I need to go to. Again, that's a reminder of white supremacy. I understand how they feel. That's their ancestry. Fine. I get it. I don't need to be involved in that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that the majority of the situation that occurred, when you look at it, we as black people were just sightseers, you can say, because it was really a clash between both whites, people that were for the bullshit and people who are against
That's
the
the bullshit.
Right. And I was kind of glad for that, because to be honest, that ain't our fight. Taking that statue down is not our fight. You know, I think that, like I said, they have enough money. They can make a memorial wherever they want.
Well, hold on. Did we lose Jam? Jam,
No, I'm here.
what do you think about that, Jam? Do you think it was set up, or that shit was real? I think it. You know, I examined it. I think it was real, man. Because to me, I just don't see any. Well, what's the goal out of that? You know, just keeping it simple. What's the goal you're supposed to get from that? I think it was real. Do you? Or you never really questioned it for being real? Or not?
I always question everything. Question shit 100 times. Why would you not believe that? But you believe 9/11. 9/11 was partially staged to be set up the way it was. Why not any other event? And I'm not saying that this is, but I don't put shit past the fucking crooked ass government. When you see the same shit over and over again, like you going to see a magic trick. It's like, you know the trick, you know it's fake. Only the people that get amused are the newcomers. But you see the same trick all the time. And I'm saying it's a 50-50 chance of it being real or not real. And if it comes out not real, it doesn't surprise. But if it comes out real, it still don't surprise, because there's real people out there doing real dumb shit too. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask this question, Jem, and I want you to reiterate it. Nando, we had talked about this question. I really wanted your opinion on this before we wrap it up. Like, a lot of friends took this as like, yo, this is the opportunity for us to. You better get locked and loaded. You better strap up. Did you feel like that, Jem? Nando, we gonna get
when that happened.
Yeah.
I'm already locked and loaded before that happened, and I'm locked and loaded when the next bullshit happened. I mean, that's just me, period. I believe in carrying. I believe in defending yourself by any means necessary. So this doesn't happen. Just like I said, it doesn't send any radars up, because my radars is already up. When I see a white supremacist being a white supremacist, I know that, all right, I got to do me then. He's doing him well. I'm going to do me well too. I don't expect them to slip up and be nice and do something and save a black life. Nah, I expect them to try to harm one of us, you know, injure or kill one of us when they get the chance to. So I know that if it happens around me, I'm going to do something for myself and try to protect myself and try to protect, you know, whoever else is there I can protect. Shit.
Yeah. Nando, what do you think about that?
Yeah. I agree. You know me, I always carry my piece.
Yo, you get niggas to talk about anything. One thing niggas gonna come to agreement is, you gotta stay strapped. Yes, nigga. That's
it. because you cannot wait for these so-called signals.
And you know what law they just passed out here? Not mean to cut anybody off, but they just passed a law out here in North Carolina that you don't need a license to carry any kind of firearm. You just got to be 18 and older. What y'all think about that?
I gotta look that up. I think I gotta look that up.
North Carolina. I don't know about other states, but this shit just, you know, it's about to be passed. It's like it's in the works though. Like you don't need no permit to carry a gun. You just got to be older than 18. I think it's almost like a setup.
Georgia, and it's the same way here already. It's been that way. As a matter of fact, they just passed a law not too long ago where now they're going to allow people to carry on campuses. Which I
heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't have to be concealed too. So you can. It's going to be some wild west shit out here real soon.
Here's the difference. Georgia law allows you to carry your weapon within your vehicle. And this is the gray area that I'm not 100% sure on, because I get different things. I even read different things, but The permit is only for concealment, not for carry. Meaning, as long as the gun is visible, if I have it strapped to me visibly, then it's legal. Once I put my shirt over it, it becomes concealed.
It becomes, yeah. That's the only like.
So, but that's a gray area because you have some people that say no. To carry it in the street, you have to have a permit, whether it's visible or not. You can carry it in your car because the law states the car is an extension of your home. So your gun can be in the car. It could be in the glove box. It could be on the seat, but it cannot be under the seat because if it's under the seat, it's considered concealed. So you have to,
I gotta say this too. I'm sorry to cut you off, Nando. I gotta say this too, but because I'm a black man. Look, once upon a time, man, I had 3 fucking testicles. Okay, my 2 nuts and a Glock. I kept one at all times. Like that was just how I rolled. So, but it's something distasteful that really, because I've kept one around and I've seen what they can do. I know the power of a gun. Something distasteful about society when we have to get like this. It's necessary, but is that homework for really people to do? Is that necessary? Do you guys feel? Is that just something you kind of do for yourself? Is that something you tell black people? Well, you better strap up. Because to me, it's distasteful. I've dealt with them, but I don't like to. I don't feel even comfortable rolling around with a gun. A lot of times, I feel like I'm inviting negativity to me in regards to whatever. Even if I'm toting it legally.
Well, I think it's necessary, and I understand where you're coming from, but the
Let
other
me
person
pull out.
doesn't need to know that you have it. But it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier with the nukes.
Yeah.
I got a gun, you got a gun. Who's quicker at the draw, me or you? I can either back up and walk away and say, you know what? You can talk all the shit you want, or I can stand there and stand my ground, pull out my gun and shoot you. Then that becomes a situation where the law becomes sticky. Is it a stand my ground? Am I going to be able to say I stood my ground? Or
but my thing is, from a legal standpoint, from a justification standpoint, is what I definitely agree with you. But it's like
what I'm saying.
The mental state. The mental state is what I question.
Yeah, but it all has to do with the people who you're dealing with. You might be level-headed where that person may not be level-headed. If you touch his gun, you have the right to pull your shit out and blast his ass. Now, if you touch his gun and he's slow, you might get him. But if he's faster than you, he might get you. That's why I say the legal standpoint is, at that point, once the gun is pulled and fired, becomes a legal situation. Is it a stand your ground? You know what I'm saying? Could you have just said, you know what, he's talking a whole lot of shit. I got this gun on me. I'm not going to let this gun blow my head up and make me feel big. I'm just going to walk off because if he keep running his mouth, I'm about to put one in him. You as the mental person have to say, you know what, he didn't touch me. He ain't, all he's doing is talking. So I'm just going to walk away. But as I'm walking, I'm watching him because he's not going to shoot me in the back.
Yeah. You know what?
But you know what's funny? You're talking about maturity there and responsibility. I just, come on, man. We all can agree. I know guns sometimes make shit don't necessarily work out like that.
But see, I don't know. What do you think? What you think is really behind that? Letting niggas carry guns and not having a permit as long as they're 18. Is it a setup for more prison? Are they going to be harsher with the crimes? It was always, what I'm saying, a backlash behind shit. Should niggas hop on opportunity? Fuck it, let's all arm up, and now that we can carry, should we do that? And where is this going?
I would,
especially for the young niggas that's ignorant, like, yo, fuck it, I'm 18, I can get a gun. If a nigga try me, I'm blasting. I don't want it to be used for killing each other, though.
True indeed, but I'm going to say this. Majority, what they believe and what they think is that the people who are going to be able to get the guns are the people that they want to have the guns, meaning white people. Because majority of young black men, by the time they turn 18, already have a juvenile record. Okay? So unless that record is not a felony, you cannot get a gun. But most of these young brothers are getting caught with crack or coke or whatever.
That statistic isn't all the way accurate though. There's a lot more niggas out than there is going in. They just want us to think that.
What I'm saying is, hold on. What I'm saying is, when they open this law, that is their interpretation of why they're doing it. Okay?
Yeah.
Just like the frisking, they come to our neighborhood before they go anywhere to frisk you. There's officers that say, hey, if I need to make my quota, if I need to give out tickets, where do I go? I go to the black neighborhood. If I need to make arrests, where do I go? I go to the black neighborhood. Yeah. So the majority of the black community has some type of record. Some type. It may not be a felony. It may just be a misdemeanor. But still that misdemeanor while you're on paper, because I might give you a 5-year probation period where in that 5-year probation period, you cannot purchase a gun with a misdemeanor. Okay? So if I allow people to carry guns, I cannot make a law that says only white people can buy guns. You have to open it up to everybody.
Exactly. Okay.
But if I'm in your community locking you up, who do you think is going to have the guns? Who buys the guns now? More white folks buy guns and give them to their kids than we do as black people. We buy more guns on the street.
We more tell our kids to not play with guns and all this, while they're telling their kids, they're actually teaching and taking their kids to gun ranges like, yo, you got to defend yourself. This is how you take it off safety. This is how you take the gun out the chamber. This is how you insert the clip. This is how you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like they teach their kids just like 5, 6 years old.
And that's why I believe the law is the way it is. Unfortunately for them, I'm a black man who took my son to the range. Now, my son is 21 years old in the Navy. My daughter is 8 years old. I take my wife to the range. I have a bunch of guns. And I teach my family how to use those guns. Not for them to just go pick it up and to go play with it, but to understand that what it is, just like you said, how to load it, how to break it down, how to clean it. My son can break down before going to the Navy. My son,
and more than to me, more than even learning how to use the gun, it's learning how to still be yourself with it. You know what I'm saying? And not take yourself out of character and depend on it as a backup. Like, yo, if something happens, I guess I gotta shoot this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? No, the awareness of even having a life taker in your house. I call it a life taker because that's what it does. The importance of knowing and having that is more important than even knowing how to use it than anything, because I'm not going to put a gun in any kid's hands unless I know that they can learn something mentally from it first. You know what I'm saying? Because any kid can get mad, or what if they get beat up by a bully? That don't mean the next day go blow the bully head off in front of the class. That don't mean that.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to take anger for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And not use the gun for some stupid shit.
The other thing is, a lot of us, our family, our households are all different. I was fortunate enough to have a son that was pretty level-headed. Never got into no kind of trouble. I never had no issues with him. I've never had a situation where he took one of the guns out the house. Yeah. He got friends. He never took the gun to show his friends. He never brought his friends to the house. And me, I'm home every day. I would work from home. So maybe that's the reason why, because I'm home every day. When he gets home from school, I'm here. But my son and his friends were all good kids. I like to say that. They're all good kids.
That's a good thing to know that your kids...
And I'm lucky to be able to...
They're good at picking good friends.
Right, and I'm lucky to be in a community where the kids over here wasn't like the kids that I grew up with. They would have been like, oh, yo, I got a gun. Yo, get the jammy. Bring the jammy to school. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it down here. Nah, I was lucky and fortunate enough to be in a community where the kids around here wasn't into that. They were more into playing basketball and chasing skirts.
But we would
You
all
know,
agree that that's shit homework. You know what I mean? We definitely we may not. We all kind of have our own standpoints about weapons and guns, but we would definitely agree that it's something you need to put into your life because this is the physical plane that we're operating on. We're operating where there are people that will run you over in your freaking car because they don't necessarily agree with your standpoint, you know, and kill you. You know what I mean? And
that
so we have to be responsible and just we can't be in space. You know what I mean? We got to understand that and know that. So we do have to protect ourselves. And
But you know what? Another thing people need to stop doing, they gotta stop making themselves too much of a target for these white supremacists.
mm,
You know, you think about it, you're a group of people, man. If anybody wanted to take out a group of people, y'all at the right place at the right fucking time.
mm,
If you really want to divide and conquer, you got to do exactly what it means: divide and conquer. Put very, very small groups in various places, raising hell. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
And I'm talking like groups of like maybe 20 motherfuckers at a time. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing with that. You know what I'm saying? You can't harm that. You can't, because it's like, yo, okay, they can scatter quicker. They can, you know what I'm saying? They can become more tangible. You can't do nothing with a group of motherfuckers that's all
But
jammed up
see, I'm
together, kind
glad.
of like a
I'm
pack of
glad you said that.
sardines.
I'm glad you said that because that has everything to do with even what's going on. You know, when we realize that we're the only ones that could fix our issue, imagine if we start. We have the responsibility, or not the responsibility. We have the power to literally change time, man. We could make the Black Renaissance start today. Imagine if people from all cities started that, like, yo, we got a new movement where we could even put this in where we teaching our youngins how to shoot. We already doing, you know, the little seeing the money phone book shit, or the phone where you get a group of books and you put them to your ear like you on the phone, like they used to do with the money. So, you know, imagine if we start trends like this, positive, you know, trends throughout America. We will change, you know, the course of how things work out. Imagine if we say, you know what, this is Black wealth movement going on, and we starting in Atlanta, and Detroit gonna follow, and we got, you know, and then we put the social media attention on it. Again, to me, all boils down to focus and what we need to focus on. You know, we need to get the power. When we get the power, little things like this will stop distracting us, getting us worried about, you know, or when we focus on, you know, our actions into teaching our youth, getting them prepared for the world out there, things like this. I mean, what's crazy about life and how spirituality works, they start to fade away almost. They're not things that you could work. The reason we worry about police brutality, and it's real and it exists, in my opinion, to us, because we don't have no goddamn power. We're vulnerable all the time, every day. And our actions, that the way we live every day, doesn't adhere to people that are trying to get power back. We live very day to day. Our mental is very distracted. You know, and that's coming from a victim of that mental distraction. You know, so we gotta do that homework on ourselves, man. Like, I don't want to. You know, we could talk it up. I'm probably gonna do a part two. You know, we always say that to a good conversation. Gonna do a part two. But I want to thank
Yeah.
my nigga Nando for coming in and squeezing him in. I had just started. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. This is our shit. You know, we gonna get my nigga on, and I appreciate his input. Cousin Jam, as always, I
appreciate
appreciate
you
your input.
having me.
No doubt, man.
I
And
No
appreciate you
doubt.
having me.
and we hope that people always take, you know, something from this. Just think, and we gonna give you, you know, you gonna hear me say that word a lot, homework, because I always feel like we gotta leave y'all with something. So the homework is, man, don't get too distracted. Watch CNN to make sure that you at least keeping up, make sure these motherfuckers ain't destroyed the other side of the world. But for the most part, focus on what you know in your heart that's gonna get you up out of your situation and make you comfortable. And the average
Hey,
black man and black woman, what's up?
I want to add, you got to watch Fox as well because that's the other side.
Mm,
You can't just watch one.
yeah.
You got to watch them all because while one is telling you their view, the other one is telling their view, and you have your view.
Mm.
And you can get more out of the information that you get from both than you can from one, because they're all telling you some of what they're telling you is true, and the other part is their ideology. Now you got to take.
Well, let's stop it there. Let's stop it there, and I'm gonna continue right there. Basically, Nando, he telling you homework.
Right.
So Nando, continue. Give him homework real quick, and then we gonna let you sign off with that. And Jim, I'm gonna come right to you. I want you to give him homework. So Nando, it's on you, man. Give him homework.
I'm just saying, stay vigilant. Watch your surroundings. I'll leave it there.
All right, Jim, what's your homework, man?
Keep your ear to the streets, man. And I'm saying, don't believe everything that you see sometimes. Don't believe everything you hear, you know what I'm saying? Plug yourself into the streets and unplug yourself from the matrix, you know what I'm saying? This world, this society, this bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And just keep pushing, man. We gotta, more people like us need to link up. The more people like us that link up, the more unstoppable we can be. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just sit on that, man. Stay strong, stay black, man. Stay aware.
Hey, Guyanese bye. Yo, my homework, man. My homework for the people is I want y'all to challenge yourselves and read anything. Get any book that helps you learn how to focus and use your imagination better. That's my home. I don't care what, but something that's helped strengthen your mind in regards to imagination and focus. And that's it. We got more homework coming up, but that's easy tonight. That's easy to do. Look that up. I want to thank y'all fellas again, man. We got more. Stay tuned. Thank you to all our followers on YouTube, Steam it, Facebook, of course, www.rwiconcept.ga has all of our content. And, bear with us, too. We're constantly trying to upload the latest and greatest, podcasts that we're coming out with. But that's where you can find everything that we're doing. Jam, my nigga Nando, thank you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. And, we just going to be like, yo, peace.
Peace.
One.